Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. Yes, it is the return of babyface Kads. What on earth is going on? What happened to my facial hair? Well, I'm glad you asked. It is once again Movember, which is the 1 month out of the year where I do shave all of my facial hair off and I grow a horrendous mustache for the entirety of the month, but it is in support of the Movember campaign in general. There will be a link to their website in the description box down below for every video released in the month of November, but in a nutshell, they are an organization out there trying to help men with the top 3 health concerns that they have to deal with in today's day, that being testicular cancer, prostate cancer, and believe it or not, mental health. One of the top killers of men in this day and age is actually just themselves. So if there is some man in your life, a father figure, a brother, a cousin, anything of that sort, just be sure to support them, just because you never know what might be going on, good or bad, in their life. So of course, because this is a charity, there is also a charitable component to this. It's not just me shaving off my facial hair. So that will also be linked in the description box down below. You can donate directly to my campaign supporting Movember, no pressure of course, or you could donate indirectly just by supporting my channel. For every subscriber gained in the month of November, I donate $1 towards my own campaign to support Movember. So hopefully that helps address the elephant in the room, and now let's get back to our regularly scheduled shard pull video. Alright, so we're coming to the end of the Sanguine Maria fusion, and the portal is alight with the lovely blue hue, meaning it is once again time to pull some shards in pursuit of the epic Champion Fragments from the Champion Chase. So let's go ahead and take a look at that one. So I was expecting that this was going to be a little bit less expensive. Historically, at least in recent months/years, the hybrid style fusion, of which of course this is one, the milestone for getting the epic fragment from the Champion Chase was actually down here around 1,550 points, but in this case they went all out, so it's at 3,500, which is definitely higher than usual, but not outside the normal bounds of a Champion Chase. So we just didn't get lucky with, I guess, the lower milestone when it comes to this particular champion. Maybe they value her a little bit higher than they valued some of the other champions, but who knows? They make up the rules. But anyways, our goal of course is to get at least to the epic fragments, but because it's so close to a legendary tome, we're going to go all the way out there to 4,500 points in the Champion Chase. I could care less about the Sanguine Maria 5-star soul. I'm not going to try and outcompete the whales here, going well above 10,000 up to 25,000 apparently to try and compete for that. So that is out of scope. So yeah, we're going to set our sights on getting to 4,500. The good thing about the Champion Chase being near the end of the fusion is of course that we get to collect a lot of the epic fragments and use them towards this Champion Chase. So we have collected 3 of the fusion epic. He is a void affinity champion. That means we get 350 points per summon, meaning that all 3 of them are worth a grand total of 10,050 points, or 1,000, excuse me, 1,050 points. That'd be great if it's 10,000, but 1,050 points. So we're already a quarter of the way there towards the 4,500, and we have not even pulled any shards, which is a great, fantastic start. So I could do some other things. I think I have 1 relic keeper that's ready to go, but because it's 2x ancients, I have a ton of ancients. We're just going to be pulling some shards instead, and we'll save those for when it's a little bit more important. Same thing as far as being able to summon some of these old legendaries that are just kind of sitting around collecting dust, waiting for their day to shine in the sun. But we're going to save all those remnant summons as well. We're going to save all those for a more important event, some sort of shardless Champion Chase in the future. Since we're already here in the portal, let's take a look at the overall shard count on my account at the moment. We have 383 on the ancients, a lot less than I've had maybe like 2 months ago. So I've definitely been ripping through some ancients recently, but I digress. 170 on the void, 69 on the primals, and then 61 on the sacred. So we'll be diving into, of course, the ancients for today. In this case, I didn't really care about the epics. I have all of them +4 already, so it doesn't really matter there. But yeah, it was an interesting decision to kind of decide between these 5 champions up for grabs. I was at first thinking about Faction Guardian, so I was like, maybe more again, to try and free up my pair of Rhoduses that I have waiting for a +2 on my primary Rhodos, because that's dependent upon me getting another slot to replace the 2 Rhoduses there. But it turns out that I already had a duplicate Morrigan, so getting a 3rd copy would be useless, so that kind of put her out. Same thing, obviously I could have put Rhodos himself, but getting another copy, as nice as it would be, that would probably go towards the +3 eventually, and less so towards the Faction Guardians, but I guess I get +1 now. But then I thought about it a bit more, and I was like, well, Valencia is pretty solid from what I've seen. She's kind of like an upgraded Ugo when it comes to like Hydra Clan Boss, decreased defense, and block buffs. So although the odds are extremely slim, I want to say around a 5 to 6% chance that even if we do get a legendary, it would be her. I decided to pick her just because, you never know, we could get lucky, but the odds are definitely against us. There's a 95% chance we get anyone else assuming we get a legendary at all. And speaking of getting a legendary, let's pop up the Mercy tracker on the screen here so we can see where we are. Obviously, we just pulled a handful of ancients yesterday, at least at the time of this recording. And yeah, so we're 83 towards the next one, meaning that we're pretty far away from hitting Mercy, but it is a 2x on ancient, so you never know. We could get another legendary today. We'll see what happens there. But worst case, we pull maybe 40, 50-ish, depending on RNG. Of course, we want to get a lot of epics for a good amount of points as well. But depending on what happens, we could be close and set up for an ancient Pogo. However, we had one like last month, so I don't think we're going to see another one, in the near term. So I'm not really too fussed about preserving Ancient Mercy compared to preserving, Void and or Sacred Mercy. So who are we looking for today if we do happen to get a legendary? Like I said, I wouldn't mind getting Valencia, but she's definitely not like top of my list per se. Top of my list is Gladecat of the Meltwater. Number 2 would be Molly Tankard, and number 3 would be Martyr. So those I would probably prefer to get over Valencia, but we'll see what happens. So without further ado, let's dive right into the pools. Hopefully we have enough space. We have 60 slots. We have a decent amount of cash, and let's just hope for average luck. Again, the goal here is really just to get the Legendary Tome and the Epic Fragments to complete the Sanguine Maria fusion. So we're guaranteeing ourselves her as a legendary champion. So ideally, just good rates on epics is really all we really need from this particular session. So let's hope that we can get that. Ideally 1 to 2 epics ish per 10 pop, and starting off with 1 is not how we want to go there. But Vergis there, not that great anymore, but in the way back in the day, he could solo Scarab King in a destroy set, but I feel like that's just so antiquated now that that's not really the best way to go about it. But nonetheless, 340 points. We started off with 1,000. Oh, legendary, hold on. Okay, and it's Ultan of the Shell. That is quite unfortunate. So Ultan of the Shell is a pretty bad champion. I'm not going to bury the lead here, but yeah, AoE sleep. I think he made it to on Ash's recent list on the worst legendaries in the game / in the faction. But yeah, AoE sleep, it could turn into a stun if you run Oella on the same team. I do have Oella because she was a previous fusion, but probably not ever going to run them together because they're different factions. But if she's on the team, you get extra turn, but if she's not, it's just an AoE sleep and decreased speed. He self cleanses, self heals, and then he puts a shield on himself, and it's proportional to his attack, and then he attacks one enemy. Ooh. And then on the A1 it places decreased defense. So yeah, I don't know, not great champion. So he's definitely going to be joining the other champions in the vault, unfortunately. And Mercy has been reset for Ancient Shards, so I guess we don't have to worry at all about Ancient Pogo in the near term. In terms of the Epic Franox, I've heard she hits relatively hard for an Epic in Knight's Rev, but I've not personally tried it myself, so I can't really speak to what she can do. As far as the Champion Chase is concerned, I think that puts us around 2,200-ish after the first 20 shards here, so we're halfway to the Legendary Tome, and I was like, oh man, I really don't want to see all blues, but we're definitely hitting low on the Epic rates. Granted, I can't complain too much because of the Legendary Hexia. Decent Epic. I've heard that she hits decently hard. She's single target. Some people use her in the Curse City, love to use her in the Curse City. I've not built her for that purpose. So again, grain of salt is as far as what she can potentially do for you. 10 pop of rares, definitely not what you want to see, unfortunate there. So we're kind of chugging along very slowly here. We have at least 2,000 more points to go. So we definitely need to pick up on the epic rates. Hopefully there's 1, there's 2 in a row, 3 in a row. There we go. That's what we want to see, more of that. So 820. Scabrace is a decent champion as far as epics. Increased attack on himself and a weaken, AoE leech, and then some poisons on the A1. He's okay, but Vildrax, Hex champion, a little bit of increasing the duration of enemy buffs, or debuffs rather. He's okay. That's kind of where he is. He's really niche if you're really desperate for Hex Champion, and Marksman is kind of trash. Much better set of 10, so that brings us to roughly 3,500-ish points, so still 1,000 to go. So we still need basically 4 more epics, and hopefully we don't go back to the all blues, or else we have to make some space. Unfortunate. So that is not what you wanted to see there. So I'll make a little bit more space, and we'll be right back. All right, so I made a little bit more space. We got 30 more spaces, and I checked in on the Champion Chase itself to confirm that yes, we are indeed at 3,500 points. So we still have 1,000 to go. Hopefully we can get this in maybe 2 more 10 pops. That would be ideal. So we're still looking for around 3-ish epics, give or take, but some bad RNG may not get us all the way there, unfortunately. Well, there's the Vogoth from the Progressive Gens event, but again, I don't need a copy of him. Grimskin, not that great, but Vogoth is an excellent champion. Really strong passives, and a super solid healer for your team. We'll do one last 10 pop here. I think we have like 500-ish points to go after that one. So ideally, we get 1 epic, maybe maybe 2, hopefully 2. That would bring us right there. Yes, okay, where we at? We got 2 epics. We'll take it. That should guarantee that we made it out to 4,500 there. Lauren the Cutter, I do like him. He's really good for like Curse City, Faction Wars, AoE heal reduction, and Leech. So, and a decent amount of damage. I think he also has like a turn meter steal ability on this one that can, or sorry, turn meter decrease ability, but 100% chance. That's pretty nice. That came in clutch in the last rotation of the Curse City. And then Sandlast Reviver. She's one of the many epics who can extend buffs by 1 turn, as well as having a provoke on the A1. And so she can be a little bit of control, but more kind of just a buff preservation champion if you need it for some sort of Demon Lord clan boss or any clan boss. Titus, thinking of that as well, style of team. Okay, so that should have done it. Let's double check in the champion chase itself. We should be a little bit overshot. I would guess maybe 4,800-ish points, but nonetheless, we got the legendary tome there. Confirm that. Yeah, 4,700. Close enough. But yeah, a little bit of overshoot, but nonetheless, target acquired, legendary tome acquired, 4,500 points in the champion chase, and of course the fragments as well. So if you're curious where that leaves me relative to the fusion, I still need to do the entirety of the dragon tournament, and I also need to get the last bit of fragments from the gear enhancement that starts tomorrow. But I thankfully, thanks to the Heroes Path event shard pulling yesterday, I don't have to worry about this Gear Hunters event at all, which is fantastic. So we can skip this one. I don't need the extra fragments. And so the last 2 events I need are the ones I mentioned. So basically done. I can work on leveling up the epics and fusing Maria on the last day, I guess. We'll see. Because I'm just basically done with this champion training event, it's the last day and I have like 400 points to go before getting like the relic fragments, not even like the epic fragments. I think I'm going to hold off and see if there's going to be another champion training tournament potentially near, like, you know, on the last day or so of the fusion. There's still 5 more days left. We'll see if that happens, and that way I could just, you know, get a little bit of champion training credit for leveling up these 4 guys. But if not, then I'll probably just spend some brews in the tavern and just power level them up, because there's no real benefit to spending energy in campaign if I'm not getting any credit in some sort of champion training event. Let's go ahead and check in on the red dots in the index. Of course, one of them is going to be the fusion epic himself, because of course he is new on my account. He's a new champion in the game. But the other red dot is, of course, the underwhelming Ultan of the Shell. Like I said, I do have Oella, so technically, if I were to run them together, maybe in the Cursed City, if they were happen to be paired together, I could run him. It's a 4-turn cooldown. That's even worse. But a 4-turn cooldown AoE stun would be kind of nice and ignore some resistance. Maybe that could come into play, but only if the stars align and they both qualify for some sort of stage in the Cursed City. But yeah, I'll keep him in mind. He's on the account. He's ready to go if need be. But at least in the near term, I do not plan to use him at all. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's a new legendary on my account, so we take what we can get. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were also pulling some of your ancient shards for 2x Ancients, and let me know if you got anything good. Hopefully something better than Ultan of the Shell. As always, if you did enjoy this video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And even more than ever in this month, subscribing to the channel really does help support the Movember campaign. So feel free to do that if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on the channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.